There is an age-old mystery that I'm sure you're all very familiar with. Who would win in a fight? Mario or Paddington? Often I see other people online putting these two to the test in a head-to-head. Final destination, no items, soccer boppers only. This is, of course, ridiculous. Everybody knows that Mario and Fozzie are friends. Best friends. And to prove that, I want to take a look back at both Man and Bear's first foray as 3D collectathons and see how each game complements the other. Let's start with the obvious. Mario 64 was a release title for the system. It was an amazing experience that changed the hearts and minds of everyone who had enough hands to hold this controller. Then, 2 years later, bam, Banjo-Kazooie takes the world by storm. If by world by storm I meant selling a third of as many copies as Mario. They were amazing games, beloved by many, and they shared a lot of similarities. You press the A button, you jump. You press the B button, you punch. The screen can fade out into a silhouette of the big bad's face while they laugh at you. Obviously, these similarities are enough to show why Mario and Banjo are friends. But that's not the goal here. I want to show how they're best friends. Which of course means taking a step past the similarities and onto their differences. And to prove this trio is the best of friends, I want to outline how each game's strengths seem to perfectly cover for the other one's faults. Mario controls like that one Russian guy from Coraline, but don't be confused because he's not a Russian fat man, he's still an Italian fat man, I'm just making a comparison. Mario's movement can feel a little bit janky, especially compared to modern standards, but once you get the hang of it, he glides. Compared to Mario, Banjo feels like he's glued to the floor. I guess narratively that makes sense. I don't remember the last time I saw a bear outrun a plumber, but we aren't playing video games for realism. We're playing video games to go fast and have fun. But it kind of dampens your fun a little bit when your character is so dadgum stiff. He can't wall jump, he can't climb ledges, he can't triple jump, he can hover for like a second, but for real that's usually put in by platformers to make platforming easier. It's not really fun to pull off. Meanwhile, Mario is so mobile, he basically makes the rules of the game. You are more limited in Mario 64 by your technical skill than you are by the level design itself. See this elevator? Screw that elevator, it sucks. See this man? My nephew calls him Mr. Crunchy Crunch. Well, sorry nephew, Mr. Crunchy Crunch isn't real. This is, of course, really fun to do, but more than that, it sets a much faster pace in the game. In this game, you are jumping from level to level, from idea to idea pretty darn quickly. In Banjo, a world can take you anywhere from 30 minutes to a few hours depending on how familiar you are with it. See, in this stage, you've got a big old maze you can walk through, and you go through it kind of slow because of all the mud in the way, but once you get to the other side, you're rewarded with a cool transformation into a crocodile. This is awesome! Now you can waddle your way all the way over here and go into King K. Rool's nose. But after that you notice, there's something up there. But you can't get up there anymore now that you're an alligator, so you gotta go all the way back, pass through the mud, turn back into corduroy, go all the way back and climb the tower, but there's a mumbo token here. But you can't get in there as a bear, so you gotta go all the way back. This is a somewhat extreme example, but it shows how Banjo's rules are much more limiting than Mario's. But now let's flip-flop over to Banjo's end and see his big, beefy arms. Banjo's world feels a lot more lived in. You've got a much bigger cast of memorable characters, with a lot of fun, standout dialogue. You've got Gruntilda, who kidnaps your sister so she can suck out her younginness like a good witch do. You can find her sister, who's hiding in corners, ready to give away all of Grunty's dirty little secrets. You've got Mojo Jojo, who hates wildlife and would rather you be a washing machine. Mario isn't dumb enough to let his sister get kidnapped by a witch. Instead, he gets catfished by a turtle. Mario has a decent list of side characters, like Toad and Bob-omb and Toad and Owl and Toad and Toad. Another thing Banjo does better is variety in music. Emphasis on variety because Mario 64 has a great soundtrack, but most of the tracks are reused quite a lot. Not only does Banjo have a longer list of great tracks, but Banjo's music even changes depending on what area of the stage you're in. The last thing is, Banjo's level design, especially compared to Mario 64's later game, feels a lot stronger. Yes, Banjo is a lot more grounded than Mario is, and that feels kinda lame. You know what else is lame? Missing one platform or being shoved off of a platform and getting kicked all the way out of the level and starting over. Banjo doesn't have nearly as many bottomless abysses for the player to be shoved into. More than that though, Banjo stages have a lot more variety in themes, unlike Mario who has 3 water levels and 2 ice levels. At the end of the day though, both games are amazing, and instead of bickering over which one's better, recognize that the game you're gonna enjoy more entirely boils down to preference. Do you like a slower, more meticulously crafted experience, or do you prefer games to be more open-ended, allowing for more freedom of expression? Either way, I hope that you can better see now why they say that bear is man's best friend. After birds, of course. Birds are bear's first best friend, followed by man, and then like jigsaw puzzles, I guess, I don't know. Grunty brushes her teeth with moldy cheese-flavored toothpaste. Oh no!